All right, so come down onto your mat, constructive rest, lying on your back with your feet nice and wide towards the edges of your mat, and then let your knees drop in towards each other. And then just give your body a second to kind of find its way. And then once you've found your way into your position and you're starting to work out all your little wiggles, your back's getting heavy on the ground, hips are getting soft and heavy. Right away, if it feels comfortable to do so, bring your hands to your belly. And then we're just going to allow for a moment here to just let your hands be soft and heavy. No need to effort in your hands. And then just tune in and notice the natural movement of breath in your body. So don't change or force your breath, but just start to breathe naturally here and then notice the gentle rise and fall of your hands as your belly inflates and then releases. And as you start to tune in here, noticing that gentle, natural rhythm of your natural breath, start to notice if you're breathing in through your nose, is one side a little bit more congested than the other, or are you breathing freely through both nostrils? And still keeping that fairly natural rhythm of breath. Now, can you tune in and notice the coolness of the air coming in through your nose and then the exchange and warmth of the air as you breathe out? Take one more moment here, just paying attention to your breath. And then keeping one hand on the belly, move one hand up to the heart. Take another nice, generous inhale, but this time see if you can really deepen the breath. Fill your lungs up. Allow your belly to inflate. And take a nice, slow exhale. Deep inhale, fill your lungs up, and maybe notice your back connected to the floor, the backs of your ribs as you take that nice deep breath. Slow but natural exhale. Take one more nice big breath here. And then before we move away from this place, take a moment to set an intention to honor your mind and your body throughout your practice, never doing anything in your practice that would cause your body pain, and treating yourself with love, care, and respect. Awesome. And then with that intention set, we're going to bring our arms into our I Dream of Genie arms, or that square across the chest. So we're just catching hold of the elbows, and then we're just going to start to gently pull the elbows side to side. And you might start with a small range of motion and then slowly start to increase, but the elbow is just going to pull slightly across the midline of the body. And then as you start to find this movement here, notice your upper back body. Does your upper back body want to kind of try and move with you? Is your body trying to take it into a twist? Can you keep your shoulders heavy onto the earth as you pull the elbows side to side? Take one more little pull the elbows side to side, and then we're going to switch our grip. So bring your hands back to center, and you're just going to switch your grip so the other hand is on top, catching hold of the elbows, and then right back to that gentle pulling side to side. And then just making those little subtle switches from left to right. You might notice little subtle variations in your body, or here you might notice a little bit more that the ribs in the back want to move with you. Can you keep your shoulders heavy onto the earth? Take one more little pull side to side, and then we're going to bring it in for a little hug. So just slide your hands in so that you catch hold of the shoulders. And then from here, as you inhale, lift your elbows up toward your face. And then as you exhale, pull the elbows down toward your belly button. Inhale as your elbows lift up. Exhale as the elbows pull down. One more just like that. Inhale, elbows lift. Exhale, elbows pull down, and then we're going to bring the elbows to a neutral position so that we can switch. So you're just going to switch the cross in your arms so the other elbow comes on top. And then once you've got your elbows arranged, inhale, elbows lift up toward your face. Exhale, elbows come down. Inhale to lift up. Exhale to come down. One more here. Inhale, lift up. Exhale to come down, and we're going to release our arms into goalpost or cactus arms. So elbows in line with the shoulders, a 90-degree bend in the arms, palms facing up. Start by adding a little head turn, just gently turning your head side to side. And then once you've got that nice rhythm of your head turning side to side, we're going to add the knees as well. So start to find a little windshield wiper action with the knees as the head turns in the opposite direction. So knees turn to the right, head turns to the left, everything meets in the center, and then you switch to the other side. The next time your head turns to the left and knees drop over to the right, stay there for a moment. Let your knees get nice and heavy, and then just see if you can tune in and notice the front of your left hip or where your left front pocket would be. Take a nice deep breath, letting the knee get nice and heavy. Awesome. And then on your next inhale, everything meets in the center. We're going to drop the knees over to the left, head turns to the right. Allow your knees to get nice and heavy, and then just see if you can tune in and notice, just bringing some awareness to the front of your right hip or where your right front pocket would be. Beautiful. On your next inhale, everything is going to come back to center. We're going to walk the feet in just a little bit closer. So toe heel them in so the feet are about hip width distance apart. And now we're going to reach the hands down so that they're coming down alongside the hips with the palms facing down. We're going to reach through the right fingertips. So right fingertips are going to reach towards the right heel, getting a little length in the side of the neck, and then draw it back to that neutral position. Take it over to the left. Left fingertips are going to reach towards the left heel, bringing a little length through the left shoulder and the side of the neck, and then bring it back up. And now right hand's going to reach towards the heel as you turn your head to the left. So you're creating length in the side of the neck, turn your head, bring it back up and in, reach your left fingertips toward your heel, turn your head to the right, and then bring it back up and in. And we're going to take that one more time each side. So reach your right fingertips toward your right heel, turn your head to the left, bring it back in, reach your left fingertips toward your left heel, turn your head to the right, and bring it back in. Nice. And then pull your right knee up toward your chest, catch a little handhold, draw that knee in circles, go in one direction. And then draw the knee in circles, go the other way. Awesome. Set that foot down. We're going to switch to the other side. Pull the left knee up toward your chest with a light little handhold, draw your knee in circles, go in one direction. And then draw that knee in circles, go the other way. Beautiful. Set that foot down. We're going to come back to the right leg, but now we're going to catch hold of the back of the thigh. So make a little basket weave. So you've got the back of the thigh, and then we're just going to straighten the leg just as much as feels good. Flex the foot, and then soften the foot, bend and bring it down. Straighten the leg just as much as feels good. Flex the foot, soften the foot, bend and bring it down. One more just like that. Straighten the leg up just as much as feels good. Flex your foot, soften your foot, bend and bring it down. Release that leg and switch to the other side. Pick up the left leg, make your little basket weave so you get a little firm handhold. Reach the leg up, flex the foot just as much as feels good, soften the foot, bend and bring it down. Reach the foot up, Flex the foot, soften the foot, bend and bring it down. Nice. One more just like that. Reach the foot up, flex the foot, soften the foot, bend and bring it down, and then release your hold from the back of that leg. Pull that knee into the chest, bring the right knee into meet. So both knees into the chest. We're going to take those knees, draw them in circles, go in one direction. And as you're circling here, just tune in, notice your low back. And then notice the SI, or that area just around the tailbone and the low back. So think drawing just a little triangle around the tailbone up to the low back. One more circle in this direction, and then we're going to go the other way. Nice. One more circle in this direction, and then we're going to hug the legs in as tight to the chest as you can. So put a little effort into your arms, give a little squeeze, take a nice big breath. You're going to notice a little compression of the belly and the chest against your thighs. Take that big breath. Notice the breath in the front of your body, the sides of your body, and the back of your body. Cool. And then when you're ready, release your handhold from your legs. We're going to roll over onto the right side. So think fetal position. So you're just going to roll over with a bent knee position, and then you can let your head rest, or you can support the head, whatever feels more comfortable to your elbow and to your knees. And now we're going to see if we can flip the heel up just a little bit and then release it down. Flip the heel up just a little bit and release it down. Flip the heel up just a little bit, release it down. And now as you flip the heel up, you're going to reach your hand, get a hold of the blade edge of your foot. And now we're going to swing the knee down. So your knee is going to reach down towards the end of the mat as you hug your heel in towards your butt. Give a nice little squeeze. You get a little stretch to the quad. Notice how your knee is feeling here. Take a nice big breath. Awesome. And then we're going to release our handhold from our foot, grab the back of the thigh. We're taking 3 kicks of the leg up towards the ceiling. Doesn't have to look like anything fancy. We just want to bring a little length back into the back of the leg. Nice. And then release that leg down. And we're going to flip over onto the other side. So roll your weight over onto your left side. Support your head in any way that feels good to you. And then once you found your way here, we're going to kick the heel up. So knees stay together. We flick the heel up towards the sky and release it back down. Flick the heel up and release it back down. Flick the heel up, release it back down. And this time, as you flick the heel up, you're going to reach your hand back, catching hold of the blade edge of the foot. And then knee is going to draw down towards the end of the mat. As you hug your heel in towards your butt, you get that nice little squeeze. Notice your quads, notice your knees. Take a nice big breath. Awesome. And then when you're ready, release. We're going to catch hold of the back of the thigh and then just take 3 kicks of that leg up towards the ceiling. Nothing fancy. It doesn't have to be extreme. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, release that leg. We're going to roll back onto our back side. And now we're going to find our way into a bridge position. So heels nice and close to the butt, feet about hip width distance apart, hands down alongside the hips. We're going to take it right up into one nice high bridge. So push into your feet. Lift your hips up nice and high. Think about lengthening your knees toward your toes. So we create some length through the tops of the thighs, through the front of the hips. Light lift in the chest and a tiny little lift in your chin. Take one nice big breath here. Beautiful. When you're ready, slowly and gently roll down through the spine. We're going to pull the knees up towards the chest. Give a light little squeeze and then crisscross your ankles, catch hold of the tops of the feet. So the arms reach around the outsides of the thighs. We're going to rock a little bit gently side to side here. And again, tune in. Notice how your low back is feeling here. And then we're going to start to rock and roll up. So we're going to rock tailbone to top of head. But if that does not feel like a comfortable maneuver, you'll come up in any other way that feels right. We're going to start to find our way up to an easy seated position. So as you come up into your seated position, just take a second to get comfortable. Wiggle into your sits bones and then find that nice tall posture. We're going to take it right into the shoulders. Inhale, let your shoulders lift up to your ears. Exhale and let your shoulders soften down. Inhale, let your shoulders lift. Exhale to let your shoulders soften down. One more just like that. Inhale, let your shoulders lift. Exhale, shoulders soften down, and now take it into the head and the neck. As you inhale, lift your chin up to the sky. Exhale, tuck your chin down towards your chest. Keep your shoulders down and back if you can. Inhale, lift your chin up. Exhale and tuck your chin down. Beautiful. One more just like that. Inhale, lift your chin up. Exhale, tuck your chin down. Bring your head to a neutral position. And now we're going to bring our arms into cactus or goalpost arms. So with the elbows in line with the shoulders and a little spread in your fingers. So just a little energy out to the hands. And now we're going to pull the elbows back, squeeze between the shoulder blades, and then bring them forward just slightly. And now we're going to make this a little bit of a fluid movement. Pull the elbows back and squeeze. Bring the elbows forward slightly. Pull the elbows back and squeeze. Bring the elbows forward slightly. Pull the elbows back and squeeze. Bring the elbows forward slightly. And now we're going to go a little bit further with that. So pull the elbows back and squeeze, and then bring the elbows forward. Can you bring the elbows and palms to touch? Pull the elbows back and squeeze. Can you bring the elbows forward, palms to touch? Awesome. Bring the elbows back and squeeze. Elbows and forearms together, palms touch. Can you stay here? And now we're going to keep that little fan with the fingers. Press the thumbs slightly away from the face. Pull the thumbs back in. Press your thumbs slightly away from your face. Pull the thumbs back in. Nice. One more just like that. Push the thumbs slightly away from your face. Thumbs come back in. Keep those elbows and forearms together. Reach the fingertips up towards the ceiling. Pull the elbows down slightly. Reach your fingertips up towards the ceiling. Pull the elbows down slightly. Reach your fingertips up towards the ceiling. Pull the elbows down slightly. Nice. And then release. We're going to swim the hands behind the back with tall fingers. Lift your chest, lift your chin. Take a nice gentle back bend here. Big inhale. And now we're going to keep the right hand on the ground. Release the back bend. Take your left hand, reach over towards your right knee, and take a little gentle twist here. Take one more breath. Keep your right hand on the ground. Release your left hand back to that gentle back bend. So tall fingers, lift your chest, lift your chin. Release your back bend, but keep your left hand on the ground. Reach your right hand over to the left knee and find a twist the other way. Beautiful. Keep your left hand on the ground. Release your right hand, both hands behind the back, a little lift of the chest, a little lift of the chin. Nice. And then reach your left hand over to the right knee, keeping your right hand behind you into that gentle twist. Now we're going to take this twist a little bit further. So you're going to pick the right hand up, flip the palm so it's facing up towards the ceiling, add a little side bend, reaching over towards that left knee. Beautiful. Lift up, release. Left hand's going to stay, right hand's going to stay on the ground. Left hand's going to release. Come back behind you. Nice gentle back bend. Lift your chest. Release your back bend. Reach your right hand over to the left knee, find your twist, and then add on to that twist. Left hand is going to reach behind you, flip the palm, reaching up towards the ceiling. Take your side bend, reaching over toward your right knee. Beautiful. Lift up, release. Left hand on the ground, right hand's going to reach back behind you. Find that gentle back bend, squeeze your shoulder blades, lift your chest. Awesome. Right hand's going to stay on the ground, and now we're going to reach the left hand over, find the knee. Reach your hand to shoulder height, flip the palm, and now we're going to reach over and across. Can you find your left knee? Get your little handhold of the knee and then rotate so your heart is forward. So now you got a nice crisscross in your arms, and from here, if you like, you're either going to take it into a little hug, catching your shoulders, or wrap it around and into your eagle arms in an upright position. Nice. And then once you found the handhold that works good for you, inhale, lift your fingertips up, a little lift in the chest. And then as you exhale, pull the abdominal muscles in around your upper back body. Beautiful. Inhale, lift the fingertips up, a little lift of the chest. Exhale and round. One more time, just like that. Inhale as you lift up. Exhale as you round. Inhale to neutral spine, unwrap your arms, hands behind you into that gentle back bend. Lift your chest, lift your chin. Beautiful. And then keep your left hand on the ground, right hand reaches over. And then we take that all to the other side. So reach your left hand to shoulder height, flip the palm. Find your side bend, and then reach that left hand all the way over to the right knee. Rotate your heart so your heart is forward. Awesome. And then once you found your way there, you're either going to take that hug or wrap your arms around into those eagle arms. Nice. Inhale, lift your fingertips up, lift your chest. Exhale to round your back, pull the abdominal muscles in. Beautiful. Inhale to lift up. Exhale to round. One more just like that. Inhale to lift. Exhale to round. Come to a neutral position, unwrap your arms, swim them both behind the back. One last gentle back bend here. Lift your chin, lift your chest. And then soften that up, lean into your sits bones. We're going to swing the legs out, super generous bend in the knees and a little bit of space between those knees. And we're just going to rock the knees a little side to side. You can rock over onto your hips, just move in any way that feels natural. So maybe you're rolling across the glutes, taking it side to side. Nice. Take one more time each side. And then as you come back to center with a nice wide position of the legs, legs nice and long, lift your belly, lift your chest, and we're just going to take a little seated ragdoll here. So you're going to fold over, let your hands find your toes, and then soften through the back of your body. So allow your belly and your chest to rest on your thighs. Let everything get a little bit of heavy in the top of your body. Take one more breath. And then when you're ready, you're going to come up nice and slow. We're going to extend the right leg nice and long. Left foot's going to come in. So it's going to look like your legs are in tree position. So the left knee is bent. The foot is towards the inner thigh, but the hips are squared up facing forward. And then we're going to allow for a little micro bend in that right leg so that we're not yanking against the hamstrings. Take a nice big breath, lift up, think about pulling the belly up and over. And as you exhale, reach towards your feet or towards your right foot. No, it does not matter if you can touch your foot. We just want to make sure we're not yanking too hard against the hamstring that we're feeling a zinging sensation up in your glutes. So make sure you just be mindful there. Take one nice big breath. Beautiful. Reach through the fingertips, come up with a nice long spine. Lift the arms up and overhead. We're going to swim the hands behind the back, lean back into your sits bones and switch. So we're going to pull the right leg in into that bent knee position. Left leg is going to go long. Square up your hips, soften that left knee, reach up. Think about pulling the belly up and over. And as you exhale, reach towards your foot. Does not matter if you touch the foot. Beautiful. When you're ready, reach through the fingertips, lifting the arms up and overhead. We're going to swing those hands behind the back, lean back into your sits bones. And now both legs are going to go out nice and long, soft bend in the knees. Inhale, lift up and over. And as you exhale, reach towards your feet. Take one more breath. Cool. And then from here, slowly and mindfully walk yourself on up. We're going to swing those legs around and find our way into a tabletop position. So come onto all fours, knees under the hips, wrists under the shoulders, and then just give yourself a second here to get comfortable. Make sure your hands and your knees feel like they're in a good position. And then we're going to take it right into the hands, into the wrists. So we're going to press into the fingertips and lift the wrists away from the floor. And then exhale, let the wrists come back down. Press into the fingertips, lift the wrists away from the floor, and then let your wrists come back down. Beautiful. Press into the fingertips, lift your wrists, and then let your wrist come back down. Nice. And now we're going to take it into the right hand. So we're going to tent our right fingers, or those cupcake hands, spider fingers, piano fingers, whatever you like to call them. Find that tented finger, and then we're going to curl the toes under. Can you lift your knees up? So left hand is flat on the ground, right hand is tented. Feel that strength in your right hand. Take a nice big breath. Beautiful. Release your knees, release your toes, release your right hand. Left hand is going to tense. We're going to make those piano fingers or spider fingers with that left hand. Curl the toes under, pick up the knees, feel that strength in your left hand. Beautiful. Release your knees, release your toes, release your left hand. And now we're going to take both hands into piano fingers. So we're going to start light. You might choose to bring a little bit of the weight back into your heels just so you can tune in and notice, how do your hands feel? How do your wrists feel? How do your fingers feel? And then if you're feeling like you've got the strength there, you're going to curl the toes under, strengthen those fingers, pull the knees up away from the floor, take a nice big breath. Beautiful. Release your knees down, release your toes, release your hands, pull your butt back toward your heels, soften through your arms, soften through your fingers, and then just take a moment to notice. Notice your hands, notice your fingers. Take one more breath. And then when you're ready, lift back up into tabletop position, hips in line with the knees, right into puppy pose. We're going to walk the hands towards the top edge of the mat, dropping the chest down, forehead down, and then finding a little space between the shoulders, maybe feeling sensation in the lats, the armpit, chest, and the upper back body. Take one more breath. And then when you're ready, we're going to Bring the arms in, setting up for a Sphinx pose. We're going to bring the elbows in line with the shoulders, elbows and forearms down, spread your fingers nice and wide, step your feet to the back edge of your mat. So we're going to float through a low plank. So we're going to pause for a moment in that low plank position, feeling the strength in the shoulders, a little firmness in the front of the body. And then when you're ready, release your knees down, coming right into our Sphinx pose. So knees down, hips down, release your toes. Think about drawing the elbows towards your ribs so we get that energetic squeeze between the shoulder blades. Lift up through the crown of your head. And then from here, we're going to take 3 nods of the head up and down. So tuck your chin down towards your chest and then gently lift your chin up just a little bit. It's not a huge range of motion here. Tuck your chin down towards your chest and lift your chin back up. One more just like that. Tuck your chin down towards your chest. Lift your chin up. Bring your chin to neutral. And now we're going to take it into our seal pose. So keeping your arms where they are, fan your fingers out nice and wide. Now we're going to press into the palms. Can you peel your elbows away from the floor? Beautiful. Take one more breath. Nice and easy. Soften your elbows, lower your belly down to the ground, and then just crisscross your palms so that your hands can rest and your forehead's going to rest on your hands. We're going to bend both knees and swish the heels side to side. So just a little windshield wiper action here, inviting some softness back into the low back and massaging out the quads. Take one more swish each side. And then we're going to let the left foot float down to the ground. Keep the right foot bent. Can you lift your head up, reach your right hand back, catch hold of the blade edge of your foot, hug your heel in towards your butt or slightly to the outside of the hip. So it might come out just slightly to the right of your bum. And then heart forward, look forward, take a breath. Beautiful. When you're ready, slowly and mindfully release that foot. We're going to switch to the other side. Bend the left knee. Can you reach your left hand back, catch hold of the blade edge of the foot, hug your heel in toward your butt or slightly to the outside. Then once you've got your hold, heart forward, look forward, and come back to your breath. Nice big inhale. And a slow but natural exhale. Beautiful. When you're ready, release that foot with control. We're going to push our way up into a tabletop position. Once you found your way up into tabletop position, we're going to curl both sets of toes under, pull your butt back to your heels and get a little stretch to the toes and the bottoms of the feet. And if it feels comfortable to do so, push into your palms. So you just get that light bit of pressure pushing back into the heels. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. One more breath here. Cool. Now we're going to keep the toes curled under and walk our hands a little closer to our knees. So we're going to start to lift the chest. So see how it feels to have that little bit of weight and a little bit of pressure into the toes. And then we're going to come up into a little high kneel, keep the toes curled under, and then sit your butt down and back and let your fingers find the floor. And then we're going to do that again. Push into the toes, lift up into that high kneel position. Lovely. And then sit back onto your butt. One more just like that. Lift up into that high kneel position. Nice. Sit your butt down and back, and then we're going to move it forward. So keep the toes curled under as you come forward into your tabletop position. As you exhale, lift up to downward facing dog and just take a few pedals of the legs, bending one knee and pressing into the opposite heel. Beautiful. Take one or two more pedals of the legs. And then when you're ready, we're going to look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands, come to a ragdoll fold at the top of the mat. Feet about hip or shoulder width distance apart. Make some space for your belly, make some space for your chest, and then let everything just dangle here. Let your head be heavy. Arms are heavy. If you like, you can catch hold of your elbows to let gravity do a little work for you. Take one more breath here. And then when you're ready, release your elbows if you're holding on to them, float your fingers down to the ground, bend your knees a lot, pull your abdominal muscles in, slowly and mindfully roll up to a standing position. Take your time as you come up. And then as you come up, Readjust anything that needs it, and then find your mountain pose at the top of your mat. Toes and knees pointing fairly forward, pressing down into the feet, lifting up through the crown of your head. Inhale, raise your arms up and look up. Exhale, hands to heart center, hands down at your sides. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, hands to heart center, hands down at your sides. One more just like that. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, hands to heart center, hands down at your sides. And then we're going to take the hands and bring them back behind. So like you're putting your hands into your back pockets. Squeeze your elbows towards each other. Plant into your feet. Lift your chest, lift your gaze, and take a gentle, gentle back bend here. Just tuning in and noticing, how does your back feel? How does your chest feel? How do your shoulders feel? How do your wrists feel? Take a nice big breath. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, release that back bend, reach your arms up, grab that beach ball above your head. As you exhale, sink into a little chair. Weight is in your heels, and then press into your feet, rise up. As you exhale, cactus your arms, open your chest, look to the sky. Inhale, reach up, grab that beach ball. Exhale, sink into your chair. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, cactus your arms. Inhale, reach up, grab that beach ball. Exhale and sink into your chair. Beautiful. One more just like that. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, cactus your arms, open your chest. Inhale, reach up, grab that beach ball. We're going to sink into chair and stay here just a little bit longer. So bring your weight back into your heels. Draw your tailbone down slightly just so you feel that nice little engagement in your center. And then tune in for a second. If it feels a little pinchy in the low back, bring your arms down in front of your shoulders. But if it feels okay to be here with that energetic lifting up through the fingertips, gaze slightly forward. Take a nice big breath. Feel that strength in your legs. And then on your next exhale, fold everything down to the ground and then find a little sway. So pedaling of the legs, let your arms sway side to side. Take one more little sway side to side. And then as you come back to center, bend your knees a lot, pull your abdominal muscles in, roll up to standing, roll your shoulders all the way up to your ears, roll them around, down and back, and come back into your mountain pose, planting into your feet and lifting up through the crown of your head. Nice. And as it is our halfway mark, if you got to get on with the rest of your day, I hope that it's amazing. But if you're sticking around, we're going to pick up the pace just a little bit. So find your mountain pose, root into your feet. And then when you're ready, inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale and fold. Knees bent or straight, totally up to you, whatever feels good. Inhale to a half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, stepping the right leg back to a low lunge. So bring the knee down, toes tucked or release, totally up to you. If you can, inhale, raise your arms up and look up. Exhale and float your hands down. We're going to take 1/2 splits here. So if your back toes are curled under, maybe release them. Pull the hips back, peel the front toes up, keep a little bend in that front knee, and then rock yourself forward, curl the back toes under, pick your back knee up. Plant your palms, step back to a plank. Right away, bring your knees down, rotate the eyes of your elbows, hug your elbows into your ribs, lower with control onto your belly. One low cobra here. Inhale, lift your heart up just a little bit. Exhale to lower down. We're going to push our way through a tabletop into child's pose. So if you like, bring your knees together, big toes together. Pull your butt back towards your heels, a little reach through your arms. Soften through the back of your neck. Take one good inhale. Nice slow exhale. On your next inhale, float up to table. Curl your toes under. Exhale up to downward facing dog. Look forward. Walk your feet up to meet your hands. Come to forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale, soften down. Press firm into your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. Hands to heart center. Hands down at your sides. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale and fold. Knees bent or straight, totally up to you. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Left leg is going to step back, low lunge to the other side. Bring the knee down, toes tucked or release. That's totally up to you. Inhale, raise your arms up. Exhale, float your hands down. Rock back to 1/2 splits. Pull your hips back, peel the front toes up. Beautiful. Rock yourself forward, curl the back toes under, pick your back knee up. Right away, plant your palms, step back to plank. Bring the knees down, rotate the eyes of your elbows, hug your elbows into your ribs, lower with control. One low cobra here. Inhale, gently lift your heart. Exhale to lower down. Push your way through tabletop back to that child's pose. Big toes together, knees together, and a little reach through the arms as you make some space for your belly and your chest. Wiggle into place, and then take a nice deep inhale. Nice slow exhale. On your next inhale, float up to table, curl your toes under, exhale up to downward facing dog. Look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands, come to forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, press firm into your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. Hands to heart center. We're going to take those hands right back into our back pocket. So reach those hands behind you. Elbows squeeze together. Lift your chest, lift your chin, lift your gaze. And then when you're ready, release. Grab that beach ball above your head. Exhale, sink into a chair. Take one good breath. And then as you exhale, fold everything down. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, step both feet back to downward facing dog. Beautiful. Pick up your heels, lower your knees, come into a tabletop position. Thread the needle. We're going to take the right hand, reach it up nice and high to the sky, and then thread that hand through and underneath. So right ear, right shoulder to the ground. Option to take your left hand up towards the top edge of your mat, up to the sky, tuck it behind you for a half bind. So whatever feels good to you there. Take one more breath. And then when you're ready, left hand is going to come in back in line with your face, push into your palm, come back up into a tabletop position, take it to the other side. Left hand's going to reach up nice and high, thread that hand through and underneath. So left ear, left shoulder to the ground. And then whatever you like with that right hand, you might choose to reach it to the top of your mat, reach it up to the sky, tuck it behind you. Take one more breath. Nice. And then wherever that right hand is, bring it back in alongside your face, push into your palm. Come back up into your tabletop position, curl your toes under, exhale up to downward facing dog. Right leg is going to come up into a three-legged dog, but we're going to keep the hips square, toes and knees pointing down to the ground. So you might not get as much range of motion or as much lift, but we find some stability here. So take a nice big breath, nice and strong and stable. And then release that leg down, switch to the other side. Shoulders square, hips are square. That left leg lifts up, toes and knees pointing down. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, release that foot down, soften your knees, gaze forward, walk, step or hop your feet up to the top of your mat. Inhale to a half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, press firm into your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. Hands to heart center. We're going to press the palms together. Keep your elbows nice and wide. Take it into the heels. As you inhale, lift your heels up away from the floor. Press between the palms. Exhale, float your heels back down. Inhale, lift your heels away from the floor. Exhale, float your heels down. Beautiful. One more just like that. Inhale, lift your heels up. Exhale, float your heels down. Reach your arms up. Grab that beach ball. On your next exhale, sink into your chair. And then from here, we're going to swim the hands back like a little airplane arms. So we're going to reach those hands down like they're reaching alongside your hips. Heart forward, look forward. And now we're going to lift the heels up away from the floor. Nice and solid, nice and strong. Take one more good breath. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, release your heels, reach your arms back up. And then on your next exhale, fold everything down. Inhale to a half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, step both feet back to downward facing dog. Pick up your heels, lower your knees, come into a tabletop position. And then we're going to come up into a high kneel. So we're going to bring the hands to the hips and lift up. Beautiful. Now we're going to tuck the toes under if they're not already there. So the heels are slightly lifted. We're going to reach our hands into our back pockets, press the hips forward, lift the heart, lift your gaze. Super gentle here. And this might be a great place to stay. But if it feels good to do so, we're going to take the right hand, reach back. Can you find your right heel? Nice. And then release your left hand, reach it up to the sky as you reach the hips forward. Beautiful. When you're ready, release. Both hands are going to come back into the back pockets. Squeeze the shoulder blades, lift your chest, nice and gentle. You might choose to stay here, but if it feels nice to do so, you're going to see if you can reach your left hand back, find that left heel. Reach your right hand up, hips come forward. Awesome. When you're ready, nice and easy release. Both hands into the back pockets, squeeze the shoulder blades, gently lift the heart. And then when you're ready, release. Hands are going to find the ground. We're going to bring big toes together, knees to the outer edges of the mat, come back to extended child's pose. Pull your butt back to your heels. Let your belly and your chest and your forehead soften down. Make some nice reach through the arms, and then allow for a moment to let everything soften here. Take a few nice deep breaths and just notice. Notice the breath in the front and back of your body and in the sides. Take one more breath. And then when you're ready, we're going to start to lift our butt up away from the heels, floating up, but keep the knees out nice and wide. Swing your toes out to meet. We're going to curl the toes under. So arms are a little bit shoulder width distance, but legs are a slightly wider position. We're going to lift up into that half wide downward facing dog. And now we're going to step the right foot up to the top right corner of the mat. So think about stepping it to the outside of the right pinky finger, a nice wide lunge configuration here. Let your hips sink down, lift your chest, lift your gaze, take a nice big breath. And then in that wide lunge position, can you keep your left hand down, reach your right hand up, and add a little twist? Beautiful. When you're ready, release your right hand down. We're going to step that right foot back. So find that wide downward facing dog with the back half of the body. Hands are in shoulder position. And then we're going to take it to the other side. So left foot's going to step forward into that wide lunge. Stepping to the outside of the left pinky fingers. Can you drop the hips down, lift your chest, take a breath? Beautiful. And then can you keep the right hand down, lift the left hand up and find that twist to the other side. Nice. And then when you're ready, left hand's going to come down. We're going to keep that left foot forward, turn the toes out just a little bit to make a little space. We're going to hop the right foot up to the top right corner of the mat and find that nice wide lunge, or excuse me, squatting position. You're going to sink your butt down just as low as it likes to go. And then right away, lift your butt up. Toe heel your feet into about hip width distance apart. Bend your knees a lot, pull your abdominal muscles in, roll all the way up to a standing position. Roll your shoulders around, down and back. And then pause here just for a moment and notice. Standing nice and tall in your mountain pose, plant into your feet, lift up through the crown of your head. Notice how your body feels. Take a nice deep breath in. Nice slow breath out. When you're ready, inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale and fold, knees bent or straight, totally up to you. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Step both feet back to downward facing dog. We're going to take the right leg up into three-legged dog. And this time, if you like, bend the knee, let the hip roll open. Feel that little stretch through the front of that right hip. Beautiful. When you're ready, release it down, take it to the other side. Left leg is going to lift up nice and high. If it feels good to do so, bend the knee, let the hip roll open. Nice. And then release that leg down. We're going to pick up the heels, lower the knees, come through tabletop position, release your toes, pull your butt back to your heels. We're going to swim the hands back. Let your hands touch the soles of your feet, soften through the back of the body. Take a nice big breath. One more breath here. And then from here, we're going to push into the tops of the feet and the shins. Can you lift up into a high kneel position? Take your arms with you, reach them up to the sky. And then can you send your butt back towards your heels? Let your hands move with you, touch the soles of the feet. Awesome. And then do that again. Push into the tops of the shins and the feet, lift up, reach your arms up. Exhale, sit your butt back, bring your hands back to the soles of the feet. Lovely. One more time like that. Inhale and lift up. Exhale, bring it back down, touch the soles of the feet. And then from here, we're going to lift into that high kneel position, but we're going to bring our hands to our hips, curl both sets of toes under so both heels are lifted up. Nice. Now we're going to start by taking our hands into our back pockets, lifting the chest, squeezing between the shoulder blades, hips come forward. And then if it feels good to do so, you're going to see if you can reach both hands back, finding your heels. And then if that's a no-go, you're right back up here, hands in the back pockets. But if it feels available to find the heels, once you've found them, hips forward, squeeze between the shoulder blades, tuck your chin to your chest, or let your head drop back. That just depends on what's more comfortable to your head and your neck. Make sure you're breathing comfortably. Take one more breath. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, slowly and mindfully release. Come back up, release your toes, sit your butt back to your heels. Let your hands reach back and find the soles of the feet as you fold over into that child's pose. Let your head soften, let the back of your neck soften. Take one more breath. And then when you're ready, releasing your hands from your soles of your feet, we're going to lift up into our tabletop position. Either crisscross your ankles and sit back on your butt or swing your legs out to one side. As you swing your legs out and around, we're going to come back to that head to knee pose. So we're going to bring the right foot into the inner thigh, knee is out to the right. Take a nice big breath, reach up. And this time, think of it as a little bit more energetic. So lift up and over. As you exhale, reach toward your foot. If you can catch hold of the foot, make a little basket weave as you hold on to the bottom of that foot, and then create a little space through the front of the body. Once you've found that bit of space, soften through the back of your body. Take a nice big breath. Beautiful. Release your foot, reach through the fingertips with a strong back. Come all the way back up. Swim your hands behind you, lean into those sits bones, switch your legs. Right leg goes long, left foot comes in. Nice. Once you got yourself arranged, lift up and overhead. Exhale, reach toward your foot. If you can, grab hold of the foot, make that little basket weave, and then make a little space through the front of the body, soften through the back of your body. Beautiful. When you're ready, release your handhold, reach through the fingertips, come up nice and strong. Both hands are going to swim behind the back as you lean back, slide that right foot in. So we're coming into our Baddha Konasana or cobbler's pose, soles of the feet together, knees out to the left and to the right. Nice. And then we're going to fold it forward one time and just come to your edge. So think about lifting up through the front of the body, hinge from your waist, keep a long spine as long as you can, and then just come to a point that feels like a good sensation to you. So no zinging in the knees, no shooting pain in the low back. Make sure everything feels comfortable. Take one more breath. And then lift through the crown of your head. Let your heart follow. Come up. We're going to stay with that cobbler's position, but we're going to take our hands. Place your hands on your knees or right where the inner thigh and the knees meet. And then you're going to put just a gentle press. So we're not trying to push the knees down. We're actually going to push the knees up. So you're gently pressing into your palms as you push your knees up into your hands. So your hands are creating a resistance and your knees are pushing up towards the ceiling. So keep that opposite action going. Push your hands down as you push your knees up. Notice that engagement in the inner thighs, but make sure it feels like a comfortable sensation. If there's anything zinging you, you might have to readjust if you've got anything catching in your inner thighs. So make sure it's all feeling good. Take one more breath, pushing knees up, pushing hands down. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, release and then fold yourself over just one more time, softening forward. Take a nice deep breath in. Nice slow breath out. And then come up nice and slow. Maybe you choose to walk your hands in or take the long spine, whichever feels better. Catch the outsides of your knees, help your knees come together, and we're going to find our way down onto our back unceremoniously. So just come down onto your back in any way that feels good. Take your time as you come down. And then as you come down, just give yourself a second. Let yourself get situated. We're going to take it into a figure four. So right leg is going to come across the left. Hands free to start. Inhale, lift the left leg up. Exhale, let the left foot touch down. Inhale and lift up. Exhale and down. One more just like that. Inhale to lift up. Exhale to touch down, and this time we're going to thread the hands through. So inhale, lift up and reach your hands through. Maybe you grab the back of the thigh or the top of the shin, whatever handhold works good for you. Draw the legs in gently. Soften your shoulders. Make some space for your belly. Take a moment here to tune back into your breath. Are you breathing comfortably? Nice, slow inhalation and a slow but natural exhalation. Take one more breath. And then we're going to take the left knee slightly towards the left shoulder. So we're just going to shift the figure forward just a little bit. Tune in and notice any subtle little variations where you might find sensation. And then release that. And then we're going to take it slightly over to the right. So left knee is reaching slightly towards the right shoulder. Nice. And then bring it back to center and then release a little bit of that squeeze and just wobble your figure four a little side to side, or maybe draw it in a couple of circles going in one direction, and then maybe draw your circles going the other way. Wonderful. And when you're ready, release. Left foot touches down to the ground, step your right foot off, and then pause for a moment and notice. Notice how one side might feel a little different than the other. Cool. And then when you're ready, take it to the other side. Left leg comes across, hands free to start. Inhale, lift your right leg up. Exhale and release it down. Inhale to lift up. Exhale to release. Beautiful. One more just like that. Inhale, lift up. Exhale to release. And this time as you lift up, you're going to thread the hands through, finding the handhold that works best for you, and then gently draw the legs in. Soften your shoulders, make space for your belly. Take a moment to notice your breath. Nice. And then when you're ready, we're just going to take the right knee slightly towards the right shoulder. So we're just taking a little shift in that figure four position. And then release. And then take the right knee slightly towards the left shoulder. So just a tiny shift, and then notice. Beautiful. And then release that. Maybe wobble your figure four a little side to side, or if it feels good, you're going to draw your figure four in a couple of circles, go in one direction. And then draw your figure four in circles, go the other way. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, release. Step that left foot down to the ground. Pause for a moment to notice. Readjust anything that you need to. We're going to take our legs up into a reverse tabletop position, hug the inner thighs together, and we're going to take it into a twist. So we're going to drop the knees over to the right, let them sink all the way down. Try to keep your left shoulder as grounded as you can. So knees are over to the right, but that left shoulder is hugging down towards the earth. And then once you've got that figured out, if it feels good to do so, right hand is going to find the outside of the left thigh. Gently press the thighs down into the ground so we create a little bit more leverage in our twist. As you press your left shoulder down, maybe you turn your head to the left and then tune into the ribs. Can you notice your ribs and notice the breath in your ribs here? Take one more breath. Awesome. Now, if your hand is on your thigh, go ahead and release it. With a little firmness in your center, pull those knees up to center, and then we're going to take them to the other side. So knees are going to drop over to the left. Try to keep your right shoulder grounded if you can. And then as the knees touch down and right shoulder is grounded, maybe you take the left hand to the outside of the thighs, pushing the thighs gently into the ground, creating a little bit of leverage as you keep the right shoulder pressed down, and then maybe turn your head to the right. And then see if you can come back to your breath awareness, noticing the breath in your ribs. Take one more breath. And then when you're ready, releasing your handhold from your thighs, pull those knees back to center with a little bit of control. We're going to take it right into happy baby. So we're going to take the knees out nice and wide towards the shoulders. You might choose to stay here. This is a nice soft variation. You might choose to grab the backs of the thighs, or you might choose to grab the blade edges of your feet or your big toes, whatever handhold works for you. And then think about taking the knees wide, softening the knees towards the earth, heels up towards the sky. Give a second to let everything find its way, tailbone soft and heavy, shoulders soft and heavy. And then once you feel like you found a little space here, maybe add some organic movement. So maybe you would choose to rock a little gently side to side, move your legs, move your feet, any little bit of movement here that feels good, and just be playful. Tune in and notice your body. Are there any places that want a little extra attention or movement? Can you find a way to move into that space here? Take one more little rock side to side. And then when you're ready, slowly and gently release your feet back down. We're going to come into a bridge here. So feet at about hip width distance apart, heels nice and close to the butt, hands down alongside the hips. We're going to lift the hips up nice and high, reaching the knees towards the toes, taking this as a back bend here. Now, if you like this back bend and you know you have a wheel pose in your practice and you want to go there, take a second, release your hips down. Hands are going to walk up alongside your ears, fingertips pointing toward your shoulders. And then you'll arrange your feet in any way that feels good. Push into your feet, push into your hands, push your back away from the floor, come up as high as feels comfortable. And then when you're ready, release. If you stayed in your bridge pose, release your hips down, toe heel your feet back out to the edges of your mat, come to constructive rest. Let your knees drop in, let your hands find your belly. Take a nice deep breath in, nice slow breath out. From here, ask your body where would be your best Shavasana. So if you like to stay in constructive rest, you might choose to just take a little blanket and toss it over you and get comfy cozy here. You might choose to take that more traditional shape, maybe throw some socks on, a sweater or blanket, anything that gets you nice and comfortable and allows you to find a stillness that makes sense in your body. So give yourself a few moments just to get comfortable. Nice. And then as you find your way into that position, whatever positioning of the body lets you get nice and still or invite some softness in, take a second, let your body work out all those little wiggles. Make sure your clothes and your hair are comfortable. And then maybe you choose to close your eyes down or just soften your gaze, allowing a little time here to let your breath return to its natural rhythm. start to bring your awareness back into your body. Become aware of the floor beneath you. And if it feels good to do so, just gently rock your head side to side, inviting some gentle movement into the cervical spine and massaging out the back of your head. And then as you start to reawaken, maybe wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Invite some other subtle, gentle movement back into your body. Maybe start to deepen your breath a little bit. And then if it feels really good to do so, take a big good morning stretch like a yawn. Stretch your legs long, reach your arms up and overhead. Take a nice big giant breath back into your body. Awesome. And then in your own way, at your own pace, find your way up to a comfortable seated position. So you might choose to rock and roll up or roll to one side. Beautiful. And then as you come up to that comfortable seated position, just take a second to kind of wiggle into your sits bones. We're going to take the left hand, reach across, and we're just going to put a little bit of a press onto the skin of the neck and the throat. And then once you've found that gentle handhold, so we're not injuring ourselves, but we are trapping the skin underneath the hand, just start to turn your head gently side to side, moving in a safe range of motion, just something that feels comfortable to you. So you feel that little connection of your hand connected to the skin and the skin staying trapped underneath your hand. So you're moving that connective tissue just a little bit. One more little turn side to side. And then as you bring your head back to center, release your hand and switch to the other side. So reach your hand across, get a nice gentle but firm hand hold. And then once you found it, turn your head side to side. Beautiful. Take one more turn of the head side to side. And then as you bring your head back to center, release your hand and then stack both hands right on top of your heart. And if it feels right to do so, close your eyes down or just soften your gaze. Take a nice deep breath in, breathing in love and gratitude for yourself, for your mind, for your body, and for all of your hard work. And breathe in a little extra love and gratitude that you can carry with you through the rest of your day and share with everyone you see. And when you feel ready, gently lift up through the top of your head, gently open your eyes. I bow to you. Happy Tuesday.